Hello my friends, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, July 16th, 2019. This is Jennifer. I am home, but my brain is still in vacation mode, you guys. We got home Friday night, did our normal Saturday, Sunday, Monday stuff, and I still feel like I should be traveling and seeing all the sights with my husband. We had a fantastic 25th anniversary trip. It was only a week, and we decided it was a week too short. It was fantastic. We drove, which we haven't done a road trip in a long time, not a really long one. It was 1,000 miles each direction, and we did lots of stops on the way and tried to organize it so that we went to different places on the way to the Grand Canyon and different places on the way back. As you guys already know, I did get to have a meetup with Jules in Albuquerque. We only stayed one night, but she came and had dinner with us, and we hung out till way too late for her schedule, and it was absolutely wonderful. It was really great to just get to have like a little pit stop in Albuquerque and see Jules. I do have a few crafty things to share. The day before we left, I realized I did not have a water bottle with a lid. I sort of live with a Tervis, and I do have one with a lid with a straw that's sort of waterproof, but it's not really appropriate for hiking. So I borrowed a water bottle from my son that he had left here. He got it at a con years ago, and I took his water bottle and I made this water bottle carrier. So we went to several different national parks, and national parks no longer sell water bottles. They sell like reusable water bottles. They don't sell disposable water bottles, but they have water bottle stations everywhere, so you can just refill your own bottle. I took this water bottle. It's actually from a Dota event my son went to several years ago. And just incidentally, my husband had the same exact water bottle with a case that he had purchased for camping. So this was a fat quarter that I put some batting in. I folded the fat quarter in half, did some very basic, just a couple of straight lines on it. I mean, it's very, very barely quilted. And then I just made a little bag. It's actually box corners in the bottom. You can see the little box corners, little batting there. It's already been washed. I carried it all over. It worked fantastic. The strap is a lanyard that I repurposed. I actually cut the hardware off the lanyard. This is just a split ring, like a keychain split ring. And I added this ribbon that I had. It's just everything I had on hand because I seriously realized the day before. And so I was doing this the evening before we left, like the next morning. The little strap for the shoulder, this is the extra that I cut off of here. And I just gave it a simple hem on each end, folded it in half, sewed it together, turned it inside out, and that's literally all I had left. So it was a fat quarter folded in half, a little bit of batting, some ribbon, a lanyard that I cut up and repurposed. And just to show you how short on time I was, this is how I made it adjustable. It's just got a giant safety pin in the ribbon. Worked great. I'm gonna leave it there. I will probably use this on future walks and hiking trips. I did do one other craft specifically for our vacation, and this was one I had to sort of twist my husband's arm for, but I could not resist because it was a milestone anniversary. I wanted to do something a little bit dorky and a little bit fun, so I convinced him to wear a t-shirt that I stenciled. I made these t-shirts, established 1994, and we wore them on the actual day of our anniversary. The day of our anniversary was not until we were driving home again, so wore them in Arizona all the way across New Mexico. If you follow my social media, you saw pictures of us in these, and if you didn't, here's one just for fun. Just a little stencil I made in Photoshop. I haven't done it in a long time. It was nice to revisit that particular skill set, and I just used a little sponge brush and painted these on with some soft fabric paint specifically for like t-shirts and stuff. So the week before we left on vacation, I did get a little bit of quilting done. I quilted the two tops that were donated to me by an Instagrammer. I have not put binding on these yet because I quilted them, I trimmed them up, I put them aside, and then I had to pack for vacation. This one I did in the long wavy lines across. I did a line of blanket like that last month, and then this one is just a meander all over. I will get these bound, and I will share pictures with you guys probably next week because they're not going to be bound obviously by the end of my video. The backs of these were fabric I just had in my stash. So this one I barely had enough of. It looks like grunge, but it's not. It's a different brand. And then it was just a little bit too short, so I put a little bit more fabric. I had this sort of peacocky fabric that I put on either end. I didn't have enough of this left for binding. I usually cut the backs off to make binding. There was nothing left. I had to add like little tabs to the sides of the back to hold it on the frame so that I could quilt it. So anyway, I will get this bound, and this will go to Linus on Saturday. During my trip, I picked up a couple of mascots. The first one came from Carlsbad Caverns, and I named him Batty Bat. after the Count Von Count song of the same name. So you guys go to YouTube and look that up. I grew up on Sesame Street, and so did my kids. So I named him Batty Bat. He does have Carlsbad Caverns on his little wing there, and he does this. He's very chatty, this Batty Bat. I got him on our second day, which is when we went to Carlsbad Caverns and saw Jules and everything. And then I took him with me everywhere, and I took lots of pictures with Batty Bat doing stuff with us. So you might have seen some of those on my social media. And then we went to Arizona the day after my last video. It was actually the morning that I posted it to Talk to Me Tuesday because it took forever to upload. The day after my last video, we went to a place in Arizona. It's only a couple miles from Williams, which is where we were staying. Arizona is an animal sanctuary that has like a drive-through part, and then it has an actual like a walk-through sort of zoo part. It's sort of like a Renfest and a zoo got together and made an animal sanctuary. It was amazing. If you ever go to the Grand Canyon, are out that way for whatever reason, I highly recommend Arizona. It was fantastic. It did not disappoint. There were bears everywhere. All ages of bears, all sizes of bears, bears everywhere. So I got this little bear as my my little souvenir from Arizona. He did not have the scarf on him when I bought him, but I really wanted him to have something like my little bat has where it says Carlsbad Caverns. So I made him a little scarf yesterday. This is just a little piece of solid blue cotton from my stash. It was about a half of a fat quarter. And then I just embroidered with my embroidery machine Arizona 2019, made him a little scarf. And now I have an extra special souvenir. He was already pretty special, but now he has a little scarf. The only other thing I have to share is I did pick up my thrifted Baby Lock serger yesterday. They called me the day we were driving home. We were like 3 hours from home. They called me to say that it was ready. And it sews like a champ. It got a thorough cleaning, and it has a new blade, and it sews fantastic. I did email Baby Lock because it didn't come with a manual. It was the machine and the foot control, but no manual. Anyway, I emailed Baby Lock and they sent me one. They just emailed me a PDF of the manual for this Baby Lock. So I'm delighted by that. I've already printed it out. I'm going to put it in a little binder and then I'm good to go. I do have a Brother 1034D that I've had for years. It's starting to wear out, and I did ask about getting it serviced, and the guy basically told me it's not worth it. So anyway, here is a picture of that. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to play with it some more probably this week. I have some t-shirts I would like to alter, and we'll go from there. We are nearing the very, very end of Quilter and Adventure. Tomorrow is week 11. And it's only 12 weeks, so yes, only 12 weeks. Had to check my cheat sheet. I obviously did not work on my Star Trek quilt while I was out of town, so it has not moved at all. I'm on week 7, week 8, so I will get there. I'm not super worried about it. But if you're quilting along, we've got a couple more weeks that we will be supporting the quilt along, and then you can use that worksheet anytime you want for any project you want. Up next on Fandom and Stitches, starting in August, it'll be the first Wednesday in August, we are having a Rankin and Bass Holiday Favorites quilt along, and we have some truly fantastic, really fun Rankin Bass inspired patterns that I hope you guys really enjoy. That is going to be it for me, my friends. I am sure I forgot something. I'm still trying to get back in the swing of things. But in the meantime, I will talk to you next week. Bye.